Hi and welcome to my garden. So let's talk today for how to grow and care for sedums. Sedums are succulent plants. There are many types of them. They're low-growing, tall, evergreen or not. So sedums are a type of plants that are so carefree and easy to grow, and also so spectacular. Some of them bloom, and there are my stone garden. There I have some varieties. It's winter now, actually it's 7th of January, and these are not evergreen, as you can see. And this also, actually this one looks like it's almost dead, but it's not. They are sleeping in the winter, and only few leaves at the top of the stems are visible. This one is evergreen. Look. Sedums can be grown in the ground or also in pots. It's easy in both ways. Actually, here I have 3 beautiful pots with them. These are tall sedums here, and their leaves, their stems are dying in the autumn, and the new growth is popping up here. You can see they're so tiny here. Like I said, sedums are blooming plants. Some of them blooms in the summer, and some of them, like the tall varieties, or sedum spectabile or autumn joy, they are blooming in the beginning of the autumn. They don't need much water in the ground or in the pots, no matter how you grow them. I water them more often when I grow them in the pots. You can use what type of pot you have, but most likely terracotta pots, because they are more porous, and the pot can breathe and evaporate the excess of water if you water them too much. So here's one tall sedum, which stems I left for the winter, and the buds are so tiny, but they are visible here. You can leave the stems or you can cut them in the beginning of the winter. It depends on your desire. So, how you can propagate sedums? There are plants that are so easily propagated, and from one plant you can get so many. You can divide the root ball. Actually, on every 2 or 3 years you must divide it, especially on the low-growing sedums, because the root ball becomes so thick and the plant is just too big. I divided some of mine this autumn, and they just feel great. I tried last year to propagate one of my tall sedums with a flowering stem. I just cut the stem when it stopped blooming and stick it in the ground. It was in late September. I was very curious what is going to happen, but in the spring it was alive and new plant was growing from the stem. So here I make similar experiment with one of those that I showed you just a moment ago, but it will be visible in the spring. I just cut it and plant it here. You can use so much different things for pots and planters for sedum, like here when I use an old teapot. It's not a tall one and not an evergreen. The new growth is visible here. So, what type of soil sedums prefer? They prefer stony soil with not nutrient dense. So, like called maybe poor soil with stones because they don't like excessive water. And actually the only one mistake that you can make when grow them is to overwater sedums. I lost one or two varieties of mine from the slugs. They they like actually very much to eat the new growth which pops up in the spring, and they are the other problem that you can have. So excess of water and snails or slugs. You must keep the young plants from the snails. Sedums are cold loving plants. You don't have to worry in the winter. I live in zone 7th or 6th, I'm not sure exactly, in the mountain region. And so far I don't have a plant which died in the winter because of the cold. The only problem in the winter is if their soil become muddy, because they just will rot. So this is for this time. I hope you enjoyed and hope see you again. Bye.